Now this was way back. This is back when motorcycle gangs were the big scare. No one ever wanted to get in the way of a motorcycle gang. They were evil. And this is probably back in the 70s and early 80s. And then I remember reading a story about one of the gang members. He wanted to get out of this motorcycle gang. He let them know that he was quitting and he had given his life to Jesus Christ. They were going to kill this guy. They were going to chase him down, and they followed him to a diner. And he went into the diner for safety. So the motorcycle gang just stayed outside. They just knew that eventually he's coming out. In those days we had payphones. Remember those for all of us old folks? He went to a payphone and he called a preacher. And he told the preacher what was going on. And the preacher said, "Where are you at?" And he told him. And he said, "I'll be right there." And he warned him. He said, "You shouldn't come because there's no good that's going to happen here tonight." And he says, "I'll be right there." The preacher walked into the diner and he found the gentleman sitting there, and they talked and they went through the Bible and they prayed. And then the gentleman said to the preacher, he said, "I think it's time for you to go." He goes, "Because eventually I got to leave and I need to walk outside." And the preacher sat there and he says, "You're not walking out there alone. I'm going with you." He says, "You know that they're going to kill me." He goes, "I'm going with you." This was a great inspiration to me as a teenager hearing this story, to know that there's a preacher who truly believes in the God that he serves. He knows this God so well that he knows that he will protect him. Psalm 138:7. It says that as I walk through the midst of trouble, you preserve my life. You take care of me, is what it says. It says your hand comes up against the wrath of my enemies. That's God protecting us and taking care of us, telling us that trust in God. You may be in trouble, you may be going through hard times, but God loves you and he's going to take care of you. The pastor said, "I'm going outside with you." And sure enough, they both got up and they walked outside the diner, and the motorcycle gang who was ready to annihilate this guy, they were ready to kill him, take him away and destroy him. The pastor walked along with him, and God was there amongst them as well. And they walked right past the motorcycle gang. They walked straight through them, got into the car and drove away. And that man was never approached by those men at all. God protected them and led this man into a life of Christ, and he grew in this relationship. No matter where you're at, no matter what you're trying to get out of, maybe there's things around you that are making a struggle for you. Maybe you're living in fear. Remember, God removes your fear. Use his strength and his power to do what he's calling you to do. Give your life over to Jesus Christ. Be brave, be strong, and know that he's with you always. He says he will never leave you or forsake you, and that's a promise from God.